If you walked onto your showroom floor today and just yelled at a customer, buy the car or get out of here, you'd be fired by lunchtime. But some of you will walk into your sales meeting and do the exact same thing to your team. You demand, you lecture, you threaten, and then you're shocked when nothing changes. Here's the uncomfortable truth that I have shared with so many sales managers. You're not failing because your people are weak. You're failing because you stopped selling, and that is what you're good at. If you're a leader who's tired of repeating yourself, tired of agreement without execution, and tired of carrying the emotional weight of everybody else's performance, you're in the right place. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. This isn't motivation. This isn't theory. This is a daily leadership briefing for people who actually have to produce results in the arena, at home, and at work. 7 minutes, one truth, and one execution move. You're in the war room now. Somewhere along the way, right about the time that you got promoted to manager, someone lied to you. They told you leadership meant authority and not influence. They told you that your title would do the heavy lifting, that your position would create buy-in. The people would just do what you said. Let me reframe leadership with one sentence that has saved more managers than any tactic I teach. As a manager, you don't sell cars anymore. You sell ideas. Ideas like follow the process, make the calls, slow down, stay disciplined, do it the same way every time. Now, here's the line that should stop you cold. If you close deals the way you closed ideas, you'd starve. Think about how you sell a car. You ask questions, you uncover objections, you get curious, you understand what matters to them. You don't argue, you influence. You don't demand, you persuade. And you don't get emotional, you stay patient. But with your team, you explain it once, then you repeat it louder, then you get frustrated, then you threaten them with consequences, and then you blame the motivation. That's not leadership. That's a blown sail. Here's the identity shift that changes everything. There's always a close. Either you close your team on the idea, belief, or habit, or they close you on letting it slide. And most managers don't realize they're losing that close every single day. Let me give you a real world example. I worked with a GSM, sharp, driven, former killer salesperson. Great heart, great intentions, but he could not get his team to execute the basics. Not because they were lazy, but because he stopped selling. Once he rebuilt his approach with what we're talking about today, once he started closing his team on the value of fundamentals instead of demanding compliance, everything changed. Not overnight, not magically, but relentlessly. Execution followed belief. And that's the part most managers miss. People don't resist standards. They resist not being sold on why the standard exists. Power creates compliance. Persuasion creates ownership. And ownership is the only thing that scales over time. Quick pause. If this is reframing how you think about leadership, hit like and subscribe. Smash that button. This channel exists to help leaders execute through influence, not volume. And I don't want you missing what's coming next. All right, let's get back in. Here's today's war room tool. Simple, surgical, and effective. It's the closing plan. Write down every person on your team. For each one asks, what do they actually want? What's their real objection to the standard? Are they stuck on skill, belief, or habit? How do I close them? Not the group on this idea. Same ideas, different closes. Leadership isn't louder, it's smarter. It's your ability to take each person and individually write down, what do they need? What's going on? What are they struggling with? And then pick that one idea, habit, belief that they need, that standard that you know is going to help them. Now, for each individual, you have their name written down. For each one, you have one habit, belief, mindset that they need to adopt. Now, write a closing plan. What do they need? How can you help persuade, influence, and close them on that set of habits, beliefs, mindsets, attitudes that you know are going to make them successful? If this episode just hit you and you know insight isn't your problem, execution is, I've got you. And if you want help turning influence into follow through, text the word hard to the number you see on the screen, and you'll get instant access to our AI execution assistant, built specifically to help leaders close ideas, structure hard conversations, and then drive that follow through that builds relationships. Text the word hard to the number you see on the screen. Let's make this practical. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop this in the comments. What idea are you telling your team instead of selling them on? Just name it, write it down. That is your leverage point. You see, you don't need better people. You need to sell better ideas more effectively. And when you do, execution follows. So today, go out, start seeing where can I get back to being the killer salesperson I was. And remember, everyone on my team are customers, but I'm selling ideas and not cars. I'm selling those mindsets, attitudes, and habits that are absolutely going to sell cars for more gross profit, sell service for more gross profit, and change our dealership. But you're a salesperson selling ideas, and your people are your customers. So go out today, create some leadership fire, and start closing some deals.